Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me again for another live Q&A session or community chat as it's becoming known as, suppose. For those of you that are brand new to my channel and watching maybe for the first time, if you're new here, welcome. We're glad to have you. My name is Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator. And my channel is dedicated to those of you just getting started out in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I hope to share with you some tips and tricks and techniques that I use every day in my own voiceover business. And we get together weekly in these community chat live Q&A sessions in the hopes that something I say or something someone else says will hopefully inspire and help you to move along further in your own endeavors in the voiceover industry. If you're not new here, then every week we have a new poll. And this week the poll is, how often do you dedicate time to your voiceover career? And I have to tell you that I get this question a lot. Like, how much time do you need to dedicate daily to your voiceover career to see any kind of success? And I think it goes without saying, the more time you can invest, the faster and sooner you will start to see some return on your investment, right? Investment not only in time, but in probably the money that you've spent and all the equipment that you've purchased. And it does take time. It takes a lot of time to get started, set up, right? All the profiles, the demos, the learning of your software, how all of your hardware works together, how everything plugs in, what everything means, what all the acronyms mean, what the pricing structures are for what kinds of voiceover or audiobooks. There's a lot to it. And obviously, the more time that you spend investing in learning these things or in seeking out coaching, mentorship, building all of these sites, websites included, there's a lot to it. And the sooner you can get all of that done, the sooner you start to see some return on that. So going to the votes, I'll stop flapping my gums and we'll get to the votes. So far, we have 24 votes. And again, how often do you dedicate time to your voiceover career? 42% of you said daily. And I think that's pretty much what I expected. 25% of you said a few days a week, and 0 of you said a few days a month, which I'm hoping that was the case. And 33% of you said I just get started out. So I'm hoping for those of you that hit just started, something in today's video will help you move forward or inspire you to keep with it. Because just like any other business, online business, the more you put in, the more you'll get back out, right? But this isn't something that you need to do every day. If you only have, a little bit of time every day to dedicate this, because most of us at this point, or even at the beginning, we have other jobs, we have other commitments, we have busy schedules. Some of us have 2 jobs, some of us have 3 jobs, some of us have, children at home. There's a lot of things going on in our lives. And if voiceover is your dream and it's something that you want to do, and you only have a few hours every day or every week even, you could do this part-time. I wouldn't look at it as, well, I guess you could look at it as a hobby, but if you really want to make this an income source for you on a, I don't know, maybe weekly, monthly, yearly sort of a basis, then you can if you want to. Yeah, so 44% of you at this point said daily. And I think that's really what it takes. If you really want to make this sort of like to replace a current income or at least bolster your current income, it's something that is going to take daily effort in some way, shape, or form. And I don't mean specifically recording the voiceovers or audiobooks, because as those of you have produced audiobooks, they take a lot of time and dedication. But not only recording the voiceovers and things or editing voiceovers or audiobooks, but in building your website, in improving your demos, and in, honing your skill, refreshing demos and samples on different pay to play, casting sites that you're on. Uh, there's a lot to it, searching out clients to reach out to on your own, direct clients, connections. There's a lot to it every day. I think you should invest at least a couple hours every day into building this foundation that your voiceover career is going to stand on, right? All right. Enough of me yapping at you. Let's see who's in the comments. Who's in first today? Who's in first? Caesar. Good morning, or is it evening? It's evening for you, right, Caesar? Daily, daily, daily. Absolutely. If I have to do anything that's non-VO, it's so that I can continue doing VO-related work. I record daily, improve my skills daily, improve my studio as often as possible. That is another thing that goes into the daily, not only the recording, the improving, the building, but also in the studio too, right? Fine-tuning your studio. Because I've always said that your studio space, the space in which you record, is, I think, more important than the microphone that you choose even. Because this studio is going to reflect, or hopefully not literally reflect, which, echo. But let me just back up and say this another way. You could have a $50 microphone or a $5,000 microphone. Your microphone is going to pick up how your studio, the walls, the treatment inside it, how well you've done that, or how well that you've fine-tuned it, right? Because if you have a space that doesn't sound very good, that $50 microphone is going to reflect, how bad that studio space is. And that $5,000 microphone is going to make your bad sounding studio sound even better. Not in a good way, better, right? It's going to enhance even more so the bad sound of your space. So getting everything dialed in should take a little bit of work at least every day, I think. Caesar says, that said, hello, Angela. Hello, Caesar. Hello, everyone. Recently, I've been leaving my studio with very bad eye strain headaches. Turns out I had to get a separate pair of reading glasses. Same. I have, these are specifically for computer use. I don't use them. I should use them during the lives, but they also have the blue blocker in them. So that definitely helps, but I feel you there. Facebook user, hello. I still can't get Facebook, the live feed, to pull up on my phone, so I'm sorry. I'm not sure who you are, Facebook user. If you are on Facebook, go ahead and include your name in your comments so I can tell who you are. But hello, Dylan's here. I can't see the poll options. Can somebody tell me what they are? Yeah, once again, for some reason, if it's not pulling up for you, the question again was, how often do you dedicate time to your voiceover career? Is it daily, a few days a week, a few days a month, or you're just getting started? Was the poll questions. Hope that helps, Dylan. Robert Reed is here. Robert Walter Reed, just getting started from Altoona. Did I say that right? Altoona? Welcome, Robert Reed. Glad to have you. Pamela McDonald is here. Good morning, Pamela, from sunny LA. Caesar says to Dylan, how often do you dedicate time to your voiceover career? Thank you for that, Caesar. Rustic Hillbilly is here. Good morning, Rustic Hillbilly. Glad to have you. Miriam is here. Good morning, Miriam. Hello, Angela and all. Always a pleasure to be here. I am glad to hear that. I like your little icon. Your little user icon, the little profile pic. That's cute. Tycon Dolar. I know I do that every time. I'm sorry if I butcher it every time. I have a full-time job with a lot of responsibilities, so I'm finding it difficult to make headway in VO as a newbie, even as a side gig. Got to make every minute of every day count. I feel that. I also started this endeavor in my God, how long ago? In my early 40s with a full-time job, mom, partner, right? So I also had a pretty full schedule. And in the beginning, I was only able to dedicate maybe an hour or two every day, if not every other day, perhaps. And then a few hours on some weekends, right? I used whatever time I had available to at least work on the foundation, work on my studio space, learn, train, ask questions so I could slowly piece everything together. And I have to tell you that one of the most helpful things for me, especially in the beginning, as I was sort of getting used to adding something else to my plate that required detail and sort of like project management for me, right? Because you can only remember so much. I have to write things down. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. But I have a daily agenda book that's got sections for each day where I can write things down. And that really, really helped me stay on top of what I needed to get done and when. So as you go through your day, if you're employed full time and you have family commitments and things, you'll start to notice certain hours of the day that you might be able to put aside, right? Either it could be at the end of the day after dinner is done, the kiddos are in bed, and you maybe have an hour, maybe two at night before you head off to bed. Make that your time. And then you can allot that time on your daily agenda book. And then within that hour that you have to spend, you can write down build website, work on demo, learn my digital audio workstation or your recording software. You could parse out what you need to get done within that hour every night and then build it that way. It's slow, but you know what? You'll if you're careful enough and you even watching YouTube videos, right? If you want to watch there's a there's a ton of creators on YouTube that have just tons of free information for you. And watching them, you'll start to pick up on the lingo, you'll start to pick up on what to do, what not to do, all these little golden nuggets that all of these people share, and you can write them down also. And then, start to build what you need to get done every day within that hour. It's a slow process, but if this is something that you truly want to do, if this is what's in your heart, because this is a business, then, that's the way that I did it. And I'm sure that you could find an hour here or there to dedicate into building this business. But you're right, yeah. Every day it's just jam packed. Phil's here. Hey, Phil. Hey, Angela. Hey, all. I'd say a few days a week since I'm also working and currently looking for another job as this night shift job is draining me. I bet. I bet. Well, best of luck to you, Phil. Marion Mills, I hope I said that right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Marion. Pat Heron is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Pat. Marion says, how do you stay consistent with your tone, cadence, and pace when doing an audiobook? I get this question a lot too, and I think you really shouldn't because you might end up sounding too monotone or too much the same. Because an audiobook is basically a person telling a story. So you don't want really the same cadence or tone, or you don't want everything to sound completely the same because then it will start to sound very monotone and almost droning. And then you'll have to listen to hours of that. It's not exciting or engaging. But if you're referring to the sound of your voice, because I get that question a lot too, that your voice naturally sort of changes it throughout different points of the day, right? In the morning, you might be a little bit groggy or maybe a little bit gravelly. I mean, I get that too. So if you find that you have a certain time of the day, for me, it's usually right around now, between 9 and noon, 9 a.m. and noon for me is when I sound like this. And then you start to get tired, especially if you're narrating audiobooks, because your voice just gets tired, right? You get tired because there is there is a little bit of physicality to it too, because you're having to sit up straight and be able to control your diaphragm, to project your voice, to keep it sort of uniform in volume, but not so much tone or cadence. You want to shift it up a little bit to keep it engaging, right? Because if you listen to an audiobook that sounded like this all the way through, it might get a little bit boring. You want to keep it engaging. You want to change your pitch. You want to change your tone. You want to change your cadence. Some things are going to be a little bit slower if there's drama coming up or something that's kind of scary. And then you want to change it up and, make it a little bit faster. You don't want to keep things too much the same because then it won't be entertaining, right? But hydration, taking a lot of breaks, having something soothing to your throat in the studio with you, hot water with lemon, tea, throat coat tea in particular, whatever your favorite tea is. I keep coffee, which is generally a no-no because of the mouth noise. Any kind of dairy will, make the mouth noise worse. But try the coffee out of my dead cold hands because I just am attached to my coffee, as most of you know. But keeping a bottle of water, I have a bottle of water or container, tumbler, something to hold water in the studio with you to sort of clear things out. What else? But yeah, I think that hopefully that answers your question. Joya's here. Hey, Joya. Time. I need more time. Maybe 17 more hours in the day. VO takes so much of my time, but it's worth it. I don't know if you really want 17 more hours of the day. You might regret asking for that. But yes, VO can take a lot of time of your day. And if it's worth it to you, that's really what matters in the end. If this is something that you truly feel passionate about, then it is. The work is worth it. It's not really work, right? If you enjoy it. Dylan says, thanks, Caesar. I work on it a few days a week. I've been dedicating too much time on Fiverr for no return. I audition very well, so I think I'm going to focus on Upwork and continue ACX. Yeah, that is one of the one of the kind of the cons of Fiverr is that you can't audition. You sort of have to wait for people to come to you and work on your Fiverr gigs, like the tags, the titles, the pricing structure. It's really an algorithm game. It's not so much, being able to solicit an audition, right? You can't reach out to the buyers and send them an audition like you once could. I guess probably a lot of complaints about people getting a lot of, spam or something. I don't know. But you can't audition on Fiverr, but you can on Upwork, sort of as a part of your bid, as a proposal bid. And the other casting sites you can too, like, Voice123, Badalgo, Voices.com, and some other ones you can audition on. And some of those, even, you need to be a paying member to be able to audition on. But that is really the only sort of con for Fiverr. But it's really knowing how to play the algorithm game on Fiverr. Caesar says to Joya, Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is 85 hours a day. Is that where we're going? Fire Matrix says, thank you, Fire Matrix. My studio, you watch a little bit and then you know that I just can't, I'm butcher everybody's usernames. My studio space has changed several times this year. I improve it every time I get feedback. Good. I think that is one of the most worthwhile trial and error phases that we go through, is making sure that the studio space, the recording space, as I said before, is treated properly. I recall back when I first started out, I tried a lot of different things, just put Band-Aids on a lot of areas in here because you don't know what you don't know in the beginning. You don't know what you're supposed to sound like. You don't know because you get used to hearing yourself in your recordings and maybe you don't notice. the echo. Maybe you don't notice that you're very sibilant. You don't realize that maybe you're too far away from your microphone. You just get accustomed to hearing yourself in your recordings and you don't really realize that there could be some improvements made. Right. So then as you start to learn those things, you put band-aids on things. You can move your mic a little closer. Maybe there's a little bit of echo coming from that corner right in front of you. And then you put something in there. My studio went through probably 3 different, revisions throughout the course of my career. But once I went full time, my very first day of being, well, after I got back from the cruise that we went on, the very first time I was back into my studio, I gutted the entire thing, put in a new desk, redid all the walls, right? And I've been very happy with this current iteration. But that is definitely something that is worthwhile and taking the time to get right in the beginning. And getting feedback is very important for those same reasons because you get used to hearing your own voice every day in your recording. So, joining Facebook groups that will allow you to get feedback on your demos, I think is also important, not only for that aspect, for the community aspect, knowing that because this job is sort of isolating, right? You're sitting in a room by yourself, talking to yourself for other people. So having a Facebook group where there's community, where there are other people that may be in the same place as you, maybe just slightly ahead or slightly behind, or people that have years of experience that, can answer questions and help you to overcome, obstacles or little speed bumps along your journey. And then also get feedback to post a demo or a sample and say, "Hey guys, how does this sound? Do you hear anything off-putting? Is there anything that I need to address?" Is very, very helpful in learning what improvements need to be made in not just your performance, your position, or your digital audio workstation, your recording software, or in your studio itself. Feel like the tangents are just rolling in today. Joya says to Caesar, "So we're moving the whole Earth not the whole Earth, just voice artists who need more time in a day." Miriam says, "At first it was hard to make the effort or the time because I just wasn't understanding how much time was needed for VO. But I have now built this time into my daily tasks, and now it is a daily task." Perfectly stated. And that's sort of along the lines of what I was saying earlier. Once you kind of have an idea of what time blocks you can use in your normal day to day now, maybe take a little bit of time of that free time and dedicate it to building the foundation of your voiceover career or whatever business that you want to start. Absolutely. Caesar says to Joya, "Nah, maybe just us and the Platinum Group. Forget the rest. You bring the plugins, I bring the microphones." And some of that vinyl that you have, the soundproofing vinyl. Robert Reed says, "Yes, I have been watching you for a time, especially trying to start with ACX." ACX is where I started, is where it all started on. Well, I take that back. Before ACX, I was on LibriVox, which is a website in which you can volunteer to narrate books in the public domain, either in their entirety or a chapter or a section. And in doing that, because you have to learn formatting as well, because they have a certain format that you need the files to adhere to. So in doing that, and there's no pressure of time, right? So they say, hey, the sooner the better, obviously, but if it needs to take a month, it needs to take 2 months, to get it done. So in doing that, I learned that I can narrate for long periods of time. I can format the files appropriately. And it made me a little bit more confident about getting onto ACX and then offering my my services to people for, money in return. That was a huge step for me. And I always recommend LibriVox to anyone wanting to get started with audiobooks before stepping onto ACX. But thanks for watching, Robert. Dylan says, "I don't record or edit every day, but I am constantly listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos to try and get better. So I guess it could be counted as every day. Yeah, I would say so. Any kind of, even every kind of little baby step, every video you watch, every note you take, any minute of the day where you're dedicating to bettering yourself or moving forward in your business, whatever it is, I would say that's time dedicated to, bettering your business or the foundation of your business or your performance or whatever it is that you're doing. I think so. I think a little bit every day is still, steps forward in this endeavor. Joya says to Caesar, okay, so I needed the laughs today. You can always count on Caesar for those. Brian says, is it Halsapfel? Halsapfel. While waiting to finish up my first audiobook, I'm working on my demo. Non-billable hours are important too. Um, demos. Even making demos, I guess that's still dedicating time to your voiceover career. Making demos, making samples, DIYing your demos, for sure. That's still progress. That's still progress forward. Caesar says to Joya, happy to be of service. Don't let today be one of those days. Never. Never. Writer Dude says, I have carefully arranged my schedule so I can work on voiceover at least 2 days a week while working full time, but hit a snag with a medical problem exhausting me for a bit. Oh no. And that happens. That definitely happens. It's more important to take care of yourself. You first. Especially when you have other people counting on you for whatever reason, financially or emotionally, spiritually, whatever. You have to take care of you first. Otherwise, you can't care for everyone else that's relying on you if you're not taking care of yourself first. So take the time you need until you feel better and are up to it. You'll get there. I have faith. Joya says to Caesar, I'm editing an audiobook that is due today. VO work in a non-recording fashion. There are so many aspects of VO work other than just recording. Absolutely. Working on the studio, learning, training, mentoring, blocking out the days that you need or the time slots in every day that you need to get things done. It doesn't have to be voiceover, recording the voiceover itself. There's so much to this because it is a business and there's a lot to it. I mean, even with the back end of it, sorting through all of your income and expenses for taxes, for, medical insurance, for marketing yourself, whether it be on, creating content for social media. There's so much to building this business. Game Day Productions. My mouth is getting lazy already. Game Day Productions. Hi, Angela. I'm just starting on ACX, but have a background with voiceover as a commercial producer. Is the narrator responsible for editing any narration before submission, or is that edited? Thanks. Well, yes and no. I would say most of the people that I talk to do both. They narrate and then also produce or edit the files also. But if you wanted to, you could outsource the editing and mastering to someone else that knows how to do it. But if you want to keep all of that income for yourself, because keep in mind, I would say outsourcing the editing, the post-production part, right? The after the narration part, you could be looking at anywhere from, depending on what you need them to do, if you just need them to do the mastering or getting the files to ACX compliance, or full-blown at taking at all of your retakes and then doing everything for you, it could range from, $30 an hour to $125 an hour of audio to get that done. So if you don't want to outsource and have to invest in someone else to do it for you, it would behoove you to learn to do it yourself, to keep all of the funds or the fees for yourself. So you could do it either way. But of course, I always recommend to learn to do it yourself, be self sufficient. Marion says, Angela, thank you so much. Yes, that would sound robotic. The consistent cadence and tone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to keep it engaging. Your lawyer's lawyer. Good morning. I have a slightly off-topic question, but if you know, what service do most VAs use to accept payment? Clover, Square, Stripe, or something entirely different? I can't, of course, speak for everybody, but I can tell you from my experience, PayPal Business works great. Most of the sites that I work with, where you either freelance on or casting sites, will have a direct link to PayPal to not only pay your dues or your membership fees, or to pay you from. Fiverr, Upwork, several others have PayPal set up. So once you collect the money from the site, they can send it to you via PayPal, or collect your membership fees from PayPal. Also with PayPal Business, you can create invoices with your business logo, with all of the, pertinent information that you want to have on your invoices, and send those to audiobook clients for ACX. But I have heard some other people using, I think Stripe was one of them. There's also Wave. Is it Wave or Waves? I always forget. There are a handful of them. QuickBooks, invoices through QuickBooks even. But I would have to say I hear of PayPal quite a bit. There's also Payoneer, but I think PayPal, in my experience anyway, is the most prevalent. Caesar says to Joya, for sure, that non-recording aspect of VO can be daunting. I find it immensely interesting, however. I am Paximus. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Angela, how you doing? How you doing? I asked you first. It's been a while. Hope you are well today. Yeah. Doing good. Concerning the poll, life happened, good things, but I haven't been able to do VO final project of the book Holes. Trying, though. Well, keep at it. Keep at it, buddy. And congratulations on your good things in life. Celebrate everything. That's what I say. Eddie Boucher is here. Did I say that right? Did I get it right? Eddie Boucher? Maybe. I shouldn't celebrate that yet. I don't know if I'm right. I'm just starting out. I have an AKG P120 microphone. Should I get something else, or is it a good microphone? I haven't had any issues with anything AKG. So if it works for you, then it's probably just fine. Although I don't know anybody who still has their very first microphone. we all get the itch at some point or another. Some of us get the itch daily, Caesar, or weekly, Caesar, where we have to have lots of different microphones. And there are even some people that will tell you that different microphones for different purposes, right? Some microphones will sound better with commercial work, some sound better with audiobooks, so on and so forth. So I think your recording space is going to be more important than the microphone that you use. But if you really want to know for sure if that microphone sounds good with your voice, then again, join a Facebook group that allows you to share samples for feedback, like mine, the VO workshop, and see what people tell you. It could be some hardware will make you sound more sibilant. Some will make you sound brighter, richer, deeper. They're all sort of different. And it's hard to say without hearing you what microphone might, be better for you. But if it ain't broke, right, don't fix it. Caesar, here we go. Caesar's going to let you know to Eddie. That is a very usable studio workhorse. Since you're starting out, learn how the mic works with your recording space and learn how to make adjustments through your DAW. And for those of you that always ask me, what is a DAW? That is your digital audio workstation, DAW. And that is what is the recording software. And your computer on your computer screen in which you record your voiceovers or audiobooks. And that could be Adobe Audition, which is the DAW that I use. There's also Reaper, there's also Audacity. There's a handful of others, but those are typically the three that I hear the most often. So that is what a DAW is. Joya says to Caesar, I love editing another narrator's project. I'm just dreading cooking. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, cooking. I'm starting to fast already. Got to start the turkey today. Slow cooking it for 2 days. Oh, wow. Bet your house is going to smell amazing. Caesar says to Joya, Happy Thanksgiving. Fortunately, my wife's handling the turkey. I do all the pumpkin-related stuff. Pie, soup, and that's it. I'm usually on pie duty, and I'm fine with that. JCC AOL is here. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving to all in the VO community who live in the United States. Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Turkey days in a couple days. Mary HPVO is here. Happy Tuesday, Angela and everyone. I just updated my little studio closet, so I am in there every day working. Great. Great. Writer Dude says, just FYI, I did figure out the medical problem. Too long a story for a 200-character live stream comment, but I can finally get back to your live streams and Thursday night platinum groups. That is fantastic news. That is good. That's what is important. Caesar says to Writer Dude, the important thing is that you're better. You are better, right? Joya says to Writer Dude, no platinum Thursday this week. That's right. None this week because it falls on a Thursday. This is the only Thursday. This is the only meeting every year that we miss because it is a holiday and everyone's usually cooking or traveling or visiting. So no meeting this week. Turkeys need eating. Gobble, gobble. Phil says, all this turkey talk has gotten me hungry. I know, it's so hard to wait. Writer Dude says to Caesar, yes, much better. Had to figure out the cause myself. Interesting. Writer Dude says to Joya, I know. LOL, I didn't forget. Robert Reed says, I am using the Shure POD podcasting microphone. I've heard some good things about that one. Oh, what just happened to my comments? They just blipped. I have heard some good things. I've never personally used that one, but if it's a Shure microphone, those usually have a pretty good reliability and sound. The Shure microphones do. Phil says, I still have my first microphone. It came with everything, stand, filter, and all. It is a USB mic, though. My first microphone was a Blue Yeti. And then I used that for a few months maybe. And then I switched up to a Rode NT1A. And then after a few months, I bought the Sennheiser. And I've stuck with this one for about 3.5, 4 years now. I've had it and used it. I have a few others as backups. I have the Lewitt 440 Pure. And I also have the CAD ES100X. Did I get that right? Without looking? I have a couple of others that I've tested on my channel here that sound really good too. Really good bangs for the buck, those two. For sure. I am Paxima says, thanks for the encouragement, Angela. I decided no matter what to record the final VO of Holes in December. Good for you. Every day I will record a chapter or possibly more, but I'm dedicated. I have decided. Good. That's great. Phantom Voice, what's up? Phantom Voice, how you doing? So I'm about to name drop, but not bragging. I have spoken to Bruce Campbell many times because I used to work for Marvel Studios. So cool. And he told me I needed to get into voice acting. Well, yeah. That's fine. Name drop if you want. That's cool. That's cool. Not many people can say that. Big John at One Man's Day says, hello from LA, Lower Alabama. Just started out. Easy for you to say. Working with all Rode products into Adobe Audition for my DAW. I have a degree in broadcasting and finally putting it to work. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. I know a lot of people who started out in or transitioned, I should say, from broadcasting into voiceover. A little bit of an easier transition, I think, as far as all of the technical stuff goes, all the equipment and things, even some of in the, voice delivery, right? And how you can project and form words. So, you got a little bit of a leg up on most people, I would think. Caesar to Writer Dude says self-diagnosis can be hit or miss. Yes, do not go to WebMD. I once thought I had agoraphobia, but once I learned to put clothes on, people stop staring whenever I go out. Caesar. Marion Mills says, yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yes, absolutely. Phil to Caesar, you live very dangerously. Dangerously is his middle name. Caesar says to Phil, hey, sometimes you forget. Busy mind and all. Phil says, LOL. Mm-hmm. Caesar says to Robert Reed, I'm guessing it's the Shure MV7. Now you're just showing off, Caesar. Or MV7X. Good, very good mic too. Some may say you should move up to a condenser mic, but I say whatever you have right now, then adjust as needed. I would echo that, Caesar. Mary HPVO says, OMG, mine was a Blue Yeti too. Still have her. I let all my nieces and nephews use it when they want to have fun in my booth. Yeah, mine, I have a black one. It was like a special blackout edition or something. And now my partner uses it for when he games online or when he has like a live stream or something on his PC. So it's still in use today, but I don't use it in here. Writer Dude says to Caesar, a skin problem, not quite correctly diagnosed by my GP. Reaction to a laundry sanitizer because I mistakenly cut back on extra rinse cycles I usually did with it. Interesting. Isn't that funny how just one little change in your daily routines can make such a difference? That's crazy. It's crazy. Robert Reed says, I have been playing with Space and Sound Floor, trying to keep it at 60 dB or better, negative 60 dB or better. What is the best program to get started with you? I listen to Bill DeWeese and you almost every day. Oh, that's so sweet. And it's so humbling to be in the same sentence with Bill DeWeese. And I appreciate that. You mean like in working with me? If that's what you mean, I have a few different options. I have, because, not everybody learns the same way. Some people prefer to be in a group environment, and I have a platinum group. I call it my platinum group, but we meet every Thursday night apart from Thanksgiving. And we work on all different kinds of things together in a group setting. And then I also have singular one-on-one meetings if you just want to meet with me and have me work through something with you, or if you want to ask some questions or need help with, a profile or on a platform or something. And then I also have mentorship programs, which is sort of more for accountability, to have someone that you meet with, not someone, but me. You meet with me every week on the same day of the week, and we just sort of go through or work through whatever it is that you need help with, and I'll sort of keep you kind of on your toes, give you homework, make sure that your sound in your space, we kind of work together on fine tuning your space and maybe mic proximity, things like that. So there's a few different ways to work with me directly or in a group setting, whatever you're more comfortable with, if that's what you mean. Or you can just, hang out on Tuesday mornings with us every week and ask questions that way. Caesar says to Writer Dude, yikes, all healed up at this point, I hope. I would hope so. If he's figured it out, I would hope that would get better pretty quick. Dylan says, I forgot there wasn't a platinum group meeting this week. I'm going to go through withdrawals. I'll have to jump on Discord and annoy you all. That's fine. That's also something else that comes with our platinum group. We have a private Discord that we all can talk to each other. And there's also people within the group that will live stream what they're working on that day, so you can watch and ask questions. There's events we have a book club within the Discord. There's all kinds of fun things there. And all of the Thursday night group sessions are recorded, Dylan. So if you've missed some prior to you joining, you can always go back and watch some of those. if you wanted to help with the withdrawals. Big John says, did an internship at Clear Channel monitoring a massive multi-station board doing station breaks in the wee hours of the morning. It was rough, but it was a start. Yeah, and that's typically how it goes, right? Really with anything new that you're starting, you sort of start at the bottom. It might not be easy or it might not be exactly what you want, but it is a start, a foot in the door, so to speak, right? And that's pretty much the way it goes with anything that you start new. You start sort of at the bottom and work your way up. So that's respectable. I would have done it if that's what I wanted to do for sure. Writer Dude says, will be months before I can get into a dermatologist. Oh, so I had to try to figure it out myself. They are booked up months ahead here. Will be a bit of a finish healing. Will be a bit to finish healing, but it won't hurt and get worse. And that is what is important, as long as it doesn't get worse, right? And your skin should start to heal, I would think, on its own in time. But we're hoping that you get in there quick. Bear338 says, yay, I made it. LOL. Hello, Angela, and all of the beautiful people here. Well, we're glad you're here, Bear338. Glad to have you. Phantom Voice says, will you teach me, oh goddess of the voice? Goddess of the voice. That's so funny. Oh my God, I feel a blush coming on. Stop it. I am here for you guys. Whatever you need. Robert Reed says work directly with you primarily. Oh, okay. Yeah, those are the options that you have. If you go to my website, which is this way right here, voiceoverangela.com, and go to what is it? Plans and pricing. And then there's my mentorship programs. I have a 4-week and a 12-week, depending on what you want. Or you could go to one-on-one. Book a one-on-one with me if you just want one singular meeting, or there's the platinum group, of course, which is a monthly thing in a group setting. So you've got options because not everybody learns the same way, right? Joya says, sounds like Robert Reed is joining the platinum group. I hope so. That would be great. The more the merrier. We've got an amazing Discord family growing in the platinum family. We do. I love my platinum group, and the Discord was an amazing addition. I'll even help you tune your sound and get you going. Yeah, Joya is amazing. So many amazing people in the group. Robert Reed says, thank you so much for your time today. This is every Tuesday. Yes, this live stream is every Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST. And we talk about usually something different every week. I try to bring up stuff that we haven't talked about. Of course, we sort of, go over things that we've already talked about because I've been on here for a couple years now. So, but if there's something specific that you guys, of course, want to talk about, or even if you're watching this on the replay and there's something that you want to have a community chat about, leave it in the comments and we'll, potentially talk about it next week. Because I'm here for you guys. I mean, whatever you guys want to talk about, give me some topics that you guys want to discuss as a group, and we'll do that. I'm blushing by your blushing. Stop. Caesar says, I like that, goddess of the voice. What is an appropriate altar sacrifice for a voice goddess? Oh, stop it, Caesar. Coffee. I would say coffee is appropriate. Oh, you guys are amazing. Okay. I think, is there any other questions? I think everybody's either traveling or not available. How many people have the day off or this week off? How amazing is that? Just to touch on the poll one more time before we go. Let me go back to the banner. So again, the poll was, how often do you dedicate time to your voiceover career? And again, I think daily, even in small increments, daily is, I think, appropriate or what is needed. And that could be watching a video to gain some new knowledge or to maybe learn a new skill. It could be just reading out loud to yourself, right? People forget that reading in your head is a much different thing than reading out loud. So even if you're reading a book in your own private personal time, something for your own enjoyment, read a section of it out loud, read a chapter out loud to see if you can narrate that long, if you can make it engaging, change up that tone and cadence like we talked about earlier, right? Or that could be figuring out how you're going to build your studio space or what kind of, even the researching phase, right? And what kind of software or hardware you're going to buy, or researching a coach or researching groups to join. All of that stuff counts towards, moving forward, right? What kind of a profile picture are you going to use across the platforms? What kind of logo are you going to choose once you become an LLC or a business, right? Or even before that, what kind of website, what website hosting are you going to use? What color palettes are you going to use, right? There's a lot to consider and think about. And all of that is, time in building the business around your voiceover career. So again, 41 votes. 46% of you said daily, which is what I think it really takes. I mean, even if it's just 20 minutes or if it's hours, if you have hours to spend, I think daily is appropriate. A few days a week, 22% of you. 0 of you said a few days a month, which is what I was hoping you guys would say. And 32% of you said just started. That's awesome. And I think I saw a super chat. Hold on. Writer dude. Thank you for that. Thank you for your sacrifice to the altar. Oh, thank you so much. You guys know I love a coffeeholic. There's nothing better than having a nice fresh cup of coffee in your hand, for me anyway. I'm sure there is. I'm not being literal, but I love it. I love my coffee. So I thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Where did we leave off? Fire Matrix says, do you ever get burned out? How do you handle it? That is a great question. That is a great question. Earlier, when I mentioned taking a lot of breaks, even if you find yourself getting tired or run down, give yourself a day or two to unwind, because there will be times. There's a natural ebb and flow to any business, and that also includes voiceover or audiobooks. If you find yourself in a little bit of a lull and you need a time to breathe, right? Or if you're in a little bit of a lull and you're not seeing and you're not tired and you're not burning out, then that is the time to improve, revise, make new samples, things like that. But taking some time will keep you from being burned out, hopefully. There's something else right here yelling at me to mention. Oh, that's what it is. In any kind of like long form project that I'm doing, audiobooks mainly, if I have let's just say I have an audiobook that's in reality going to take me maybe 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks to complete, I'm going to ask for a month. I'm going to give myself at least a week buffer, a week's worth of a buffer, to allow me to have a couple days off, right? To rest my voice or my brain, give my sanity a break. Or that gives me a little bit of a buffer if I get sick. It gives me a little bit of a buffer if something else comes up with something else in the family. That gives me a little bit of a buffer, right? And if nothing happens and you don't need the time, then deliver the project early, and then the client loves you and you're the hero, right? But I always ask for a little bit of a buffer on most things. So I'm not pushing myself too hard through everything, if that makes sense. So give yourself some grace. Allow yourself rest time, right? Myself in this business, I work Monday through Friday. I meet with people only Monday through Friday. I keep office hours for that reason, to not be burned out, because there are so many other elements to this business. So if I want to take a weekend and go spend it with my family, I can, right? So allow yourself time and breaks. Mental health is important too. Miriam says, yes, this Wednesday, Friday. Oh, for time off? Good. Robert Reed said, "What is the price for the one-on-one to get started? I have $50 a session for 30 minutes. I'm trying to be price conscious with these things. My rate is $100 an hour, but I'm trying to keep it like 30-minute increments. And you'd be surprised how much we can actually cover in 30 minutes. But if you want a mentorship program, just go to my website and just not to bore everybody with everything, but if you go to my website and to the plans and pricing or to the one-on-one page, you'll see everything there. I try to keep I'm very conscious of pricing. I'm not trying to gouge, but I do need to cover my time if that helps. Bear338 says, "My soul needs these Tuesdays." Speaking of, as promised, I have ordered the stuff for my sound studio and found a place to go locally to get my audio equipment. Home Depot didn't have the stuff. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you mean for like building your studio space, Home Depot? I think there's a lot of stuff you could probably get online anymore. I mean, I don't think there's anything you can't get online anymore. Well, that's great. Progress. Progress is great. Joya says, "I'm taking Friday off to switch computers. We'll be off and on, but no promises or commitments." Good. Take some time. Take some time. Take a couple days for yourself, especially around the holidays, because there's just so much other stuff going on, right? Allow your time. Allow yourself to have that time with your family and to recharge. Dylan says, "To Caesar, green apples and throat coat tea is the appropriate offering, I believe." Oh, on the altar. I don't know about green apples. You're supposed to have green apples for the acid to help cut through the mouth noise, but I'm always a Honey Crisp girl. Bear338 says, "Yes, read, read, read. Yes, read out loud." And that goes with really anything that you're reading. If you're at Costco and you're looking at like a new shampoo, read the back of it out loud. People might look at you, but you know what? It's an investment in your professionalism. Read out loud. Try it a few different ways, like you're advertising for it, right? Why not? Caesar says, "Burnout can definitely happen to any VO. Important thing is to take breaks outside of the studio. Get outside, get some sunshine, take the puppies for a walk, relax, read a book, read several if you're me." Important thing is to take breaks outside of the studio. Also, manage your time. Don't pile on work. Take care of your voice. Meditate, or the other M word. Caesar, are you going where I think you're going? Stop. Caesar says to Dylan, "Good ones, but I'm keeping the green apples." Yeah, Caesar. Dylan says, "I got hit with burnout hard recently with audiobooks. Had to take a week off and refocus. Mental health is so important." It is very important. And that's why I always tack on at least an extra week. So if it comes up that I need it, I take it. And not even all at one time, maybe a couple days here, a day here, right? Just to give myself a little bit of extra breathing room. Phantom Voice says, "My wife has built me a website, a YouTube channel, payment platform. She's my biggest fan, but I have not recorded anything yet, not even a demo. Time management is not a friend of mine." Well, it sounds to me that you need to get your butt in your seat, turn on your microphone, and get to recording. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I mean, even like I was saying before, just grab anything. Grab a book off your shelf. Grab that shampoo bottle and just record the back of it, right? Just record anything that you see. Just get something down so you can get in the habit of hearing yourself outside of your own head. And you can start getting some feedback on these recordings so we can fine tune your studio space, as this loving community does. So just start recording. Don't overthink it too much. Oh, we have another super chat. Ciao, Jonathan B. Thank you for the super chat. Unable to participate live, but I will watch later. Just popping in to appreciate you and like. Everyone hit like, right? Yes, just to be specific, unlike last week where, I was saying to smash it. Don't smash that like button. Just click, Click that like button. You have to be specific with some people here. You know who you are. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. That goes to my coffee altar. Lorna Mary says, Angela, I really appreciate your practical application tips and encouragement. Thank you for all you do. Have a great Thanksgiving. Oh, thank you for that, Lorna. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so good to me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Robert Reed says, thank you again for your time today. Sweetwater Online is awesome. Store online and in person. Yes, Sweetwater is definitely a place to check out. If you haven't heard of it yet, go to sweetwater.com. All of their audio gear and you know what? I would have to say half of my studio is from Sweetwater. Their customer service is top notch. You can text your sales representative and ask them their thoughts on things. They're amazing. Tim Gleason says, read out loud. I do that all the time, even if it's just in my head. No, out loud, out loud, out loud. Not in your head. Out loud. Read it out loud. Literally out loud. Ryder Dude says a Honeycrisp girl. Yeah, Honeycrisp apples. You've never had a Honeycrisp apple? Oh my God, they are so good. Oh, apples. Yeah. They are so good. Joya says, when I border on burnout, I just switch professions. Author one day, VO the next, or seamstress when I want to get away from the computer screen. Plan ahead. And it's nice to have hobbies or things that you enjoy doing. Like for me, that's diamond painting or reading several books. Or what is the other thing? Oh, rewatching favorite shows. Right now I'm watching Game of Thrones again for like the 16th time. But do the things that you enjoy doing. Give yourself a little bit of a mental break. Joy. Hi, Joy. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, from rainy Southfield, Michigan. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Joy. Bear338 says, I will be posting pictures of my completed Econo studio on your Facebook page. Thank you for the kick in the pants to get me moving. Good. Sometimes that's all we need. Just a little kick between the pockets. Tim Gleason says, and there is candy in every shipment. They send you a little package of candy and a thank you note with everything you order from Sweetwater. Dwight is here. Hey, Dwight. Hi, Angela. I've been listening as I travel from Rhode Island to Connecticut. Great session. Going to miss Thursday night Platinum Group. Best money I've spent on VO so far. You are the bomb. I appreciate that. But Dwight, remember, we don't have a meeting this Thursday as it is Thanksgiving. But I appreciate you nonetheless. I'll miss y'all. But get on the Discord if you want to and say hi to everybody there. Caesar says, the shower has excellent acoustics, I've discovered. It's a great place to practice VO. I often do the Blade Runner monologue about tears in the rain just because it's appropriate. Bear338 says, Jeff at Sweetwater is a VO guru when it comes to your equipment. No, I have Nick. Nick is my sales guy. I was going to say, is that my guy? No, Nick is my guy. Ryder Dude says, different profession. My brother used to do those breaks when working from home. Very helpful. Usually he would listen to some music or play his guitar. Not much one for one of the M options. I know, Caesar, you guys. Well, it is about that time. Again, thank you everybody for spending some time again with me today and everyone else here in the chat. You are appreciated. And for this week, Thanksgiving, I am grateful for all of you. And I hope that you guys take a couple of days off, at least one day this week. Take it off. Even if you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, it's important before the holiday madness starts to take a little bit of a breather. Give yourself a break. Enjoy some of those hobbies that you enjoy doing. Take that bath with a glass of wine and a nice good book or whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Go do that. Take a break. Rest, recharge, recuperate before the holiday nuts begin. Yep. Happy Thanksgiving and to you all. Hold on. You are a gem, Angela. Wish you a happy Thanksgiving and all of you VO peeps as well. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I missed one. Thank you so much and have a happy Thanksgiving. Joy says, oh, most definitely. Dylan says, happy Thanksgiving all. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to you all and be safe. Read out loud. And I will see everybody next week, right? Yeah. Bye.